Interesting. We've got a new rumour. Apparently that George Lucas and Jon Favreau hated Star Wars The Last Jedi. Now, we've kind of known that George Lucas is rumoured to have hated it quite a lot anyway. He rumoured to have like his own cut of the film, and all this manner of stuff was kind of floating around with respect to The Last Jedi. It was an absolute shit show. Many of you will remember when I did my review, we spoke about the pickled Snokes. In fact, we even sold some fantastic t-shirts for that. Let me know if you want me to bring back that design. I'll just have it on the screen now. I think you'll like it. I love that design so much. Best t-shirt design ever. But again, we've got some new rumours here. So happy to kind of dive into this today. I hope you're all well, ladies and gents. I'll leave this article down below in the description box, and just before we jump into this, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you all so much. Really thank you from the bottom of my heart. Some of you may know I have been crowdfunding for a film. It's called Blackfields. The GoFundMe is linked down below, and we've hit the last stretch target. Now, I will actually leave it open because there are some people that still want to donate and want to help and support and things like that. And mark my words, the budget for the film is well above the target for the GoFundMe, but also I am running a competition. So if you want to enter that, go down below in the description box. But I just want to say thank you because it really does mean the world to me. I saw that this morning. It was like borderline in tears. Just amazing. Yeah. So from me to you, thank you. But let's dive into this, shall we? Right. So a new rumour details that both George Lucas and Jon Favreau hated Rian Johnson's Star Wars The Last Jedi. Now the rumour comes from Nikita Sleeper Cell, Bionic Woman producer Cameron Pasha, who recently spoke with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Now I will say, just a quick correction. I thought we were talking about the Rise of Skywalker. These names are so uninspired. When I said it at the start, George Lucas had his own cut. My mistake. Completely my mistake there. But yeah, just want to correct that briefly. Sorry. Pasha stated, I don't have internal knowledge. I do have people who know George Lucas personally and, well, who have said to me that he hates The Last Jedi and he is horrified by what's happened. And I think you would be, ultimately, because it's one of those things that, like, it has strayed so far from what he had initially intended. And if he hated The Last Jedi, then Christ alive, what did he think to The Rise of Skywalker? Like, good God. And I think what's interesting about this is the fact that it's Jon Favreau as well, right? Jon Favreau is said to hate it. But with respect to George Lucas, it's understandable. It's not even something which we can say is like hugely sensationalizing, because, I mean, yeah, who's going to want to see bloody Princess Leia floating through space and, you know, the Holdo maneuver and all this kind of nonsense? Like, you can just pick it apart in seconds. It's just garbage. Now, they went on to say, I have had people, screenwriters, that have worked with Lucasfilm that have told me directly that he hates it. Pasha then continued and said, so when I started getting people to talk to me privately, someone who I will not identify, who I know has very deep roots inside of Lucasfilm today and the George Lucas camp, as in personal relationships with Lucas himself, have said to me that Lucas has said privately that he feels The Last Jedi, and to use the actual word, was soulless, that it lacks a soul, and that he was so shocked. Now, Pasha later emphasized the validity of his source, saying, I don't have the slightest bit of doubt from the source that I got it from, whom I know knows Lucas. I know that he knows Lucas, so identifying the gender. He then details that Favreau also hated The Last Jedi. I'm going to say this, and I've never revealed this publicly. I have a friend who is very close with Jon Favreau and has worked on several of his movies, and this is what he said to me. And I don't know Jon Favreau. He said to me, Jon Favreau hates The Last Jedi. Now, Pasha reiterates that Favreau did not say this to me, and I love Jon Favreau, and I hope I'm not burned by a chance to work with him in the future. Now, obviously, that's one of the main things, isn't it? When you reveal these things publicly, there is a large potential chance that, yeah, this is going to come out and you are going to burn bridges. And that's why when we talk about anonymous sources, guys, that's why there are genuine people that just want to talk about this stuff. They need to vent. And they reveal these things because they're either overjoyed with it or they're just very frustrated. But sometimes, they say no, must remain anonymous, and sometimes you can, reveal your source. But yeah, this is why, because they just burn bridges otherwise. Now, he then elaborated on Favreau's opinions regarding The Last Jedi. Again, this is coming from a friend who I know has worked on Favreau's productions in his inner circle multiple times. And he said to me that Favreau told him that once he saw The Last Jedi, he realised that Star Wars was out of control and that he actively lobbied to get involved in it because he's a fan and he wanted to save the franchise. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It really does. That does make sense, right? Like, he kind of came out of nowhere with respect to working on The Mandalorian. And I know, like, he's worked with Marvel and things like this. And I know he's a fan, but it was kind of out of nowhere. So, yeah. Now, he added, it wasn't just that Lucasfilm went after him, but he was like, guys, I can help with this. You guys are on the wrong track. I mean, he's not wrong, is he? And there's been other rumours floating around. Lucas stated, I've made a terrible mistake. Lucas was appalled, even more appalled than he was with The Force Awakens. This is something which has long been known. We've long had so many rumours about Lucasfilm, well, Lucas more specifically, hating the direction that Star Wars has gone in. And even to the point where, like, he wasn't invited to some of the screenings and these kind of things. And you just think to yourself, like, what are you doing? Like, this is the dude that, yeah, you bought it off him, and yeah, he's earned his money and things like that. But, he's earned more money than he ever needs anyway. And he does so much charitable work, does Lucas. But obviously he's going to hate this. Like, why wouldn't you? And I think there's a very clear difference between like creatives and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people who sell their products grows up to hate it and then kind of plays in the universe and tries to wreck it even further. There's someone prominently now who's going through a lawsuit to get the rights back to their film, to their book, who wrote a follow-on book. Well, I'm talking about Clive Barker, who wrote a follow-on book, The Scarlet Gospels, which absolutely just destroys everything that the universe had established. That's someone that very clearly doesn't like the universe, but still wants it back regardless. Now, Lucasfilm is somewhat different. Lucas, isn't he? He's very, very different to that. Like, someone who clearly likes the universe he's created. And I don't know the motive behind selling it. I don't think, was it ever really revealed why he actually sold Lucasfilm and all the rights to the things that he had established and created? I don't know whether it was ever really established, but this is clearly someone that still cares for it. He clearly still enjoys what he created, and yeah, he gets ragged on for the prequels and things like that. And I think he even came out and famously said, I don't think they'd really like what I was going to be doing anyway. But I don't know whether it would be better than this. Like, I hazard a guess it might be better than what we've seen. And understandably, he would be, dismayed by what we, ultimately had to see, and what he ultimately saw. So there you go. There's the rumor. Jon Favreau kind of coming out of nowhere and doing, saying this and saying he hated The Last Jedi and basically lobbying to get involved. I can believe that because his involvement in The Mandalorian, it did kind of come out of nowhere. And I say that because, he got involved and he was there doing Marvel and things like this. Happy Hogan. But it's still left field for him. It's not an obvious pick, is it? It's not in public domain that, he's trying to lobby for these things. It was kind of out of nowhere. So I'll hand it on over to you. What do you think, guys? Rumours, good, bad? Love to hear it. I can believe this. And there's enough evidence to support it, so hence why I reported on it. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you are new here, please do hit subscribe. Please do, if you do want to enter that competition to win an ornamental prop, a weapon, check out the GoFundMe link down below. It's still going to be open up until we actually start shooting, because that's when the competition closes. So anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.